Does this look good?
Hey team, Luke here, welcome back for another video. Last week, I posted a video about sub-spindle transfers. The do's, the don'ts, and some different details going as far as the programming and weighting codes and stuff like that. If you didn't watch that video and you're interested in sub-spindle, go check that video out, it was pretty cool. But today's video, we're gonna piggyback off that same video and talk about something that I got a bunch of comments on the video. Chips in the collet. I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like, how you can easily avoid it and help the situation. Because as we all know, if you have experience on sub-spindle equipment, chips in the collet or between your part and the collet can be detrimental and most definitely scrap your part. So let's dive in. I'm going to give you a couple ideas of what we do to fix and avoid that. Now, if you have experience with sub-spindle machines, which I know a lot of you do, the first thing we're all going to jump to is through-spindle coolant, which for me, that's my number one, that's my go-to. It's easy and it is effective. So on these machines, it's M108, but check your machine manufacturer and the control to determine if you even have through-spindle coolant on the sub and verify what the M code is. I'm going to show you what that looks like here. For us, this is great pressure. And obviously, I only toggle it on for a second and shut it off. Two reasons. The main reason, I already took my monthly shower. I don't want to take another one. Second reason, what I notice that works is not just blasting the sub-spindle coolant, but also sometimes when you toggle it on and off through the program. Now, if you have a small hole that you're blowing it through, it's going to blow all the chips that you're making on your current part out. That's excellent. But the problem is, what if you have parts in your bore that transfer into your collet, so the chips that you have in your collet aren't even from the operation that's on the sub side. They're from the main side operation, but they're staying in the bore and they get in there and it fills your collet up, which does happen. We have a solution for that as well. So the reason I like to toggle M108 and 109 or coolant on and off is sometimes when you shut it off, it has kind of a cascading effect that'll flow chips out through the spindle itself. Chips in your sub can look like something as simple as this can ruin a part. That's what we're trying to avoid. And ensuring that 100% of the parts you make do not have that in there can be challenging, but we're able to. But you can see in here, it gets a little worse by pulling these out. This will lead me to another solution, the solution being clean your collets regularly. There's really no way to 100% avoid chips in the sub spindle, especially when you're doing a bore and a bore through on that sub spindle. Some of them are going to get through. Luckily for this job, we don't have any problems with chip marks now, but at the beginning of the run, we did. But through using different machining techniques, thinning the chip, breaking it, we were able to avoid it for the most part. But every now and again, they get built up in the back of the spindle. So what we do, we make sure to keep the spindle clean. That might be at the beginning of your shift, maybe at lunchtime, at the end of your shift, because chips get in the sub spindle. It's a nature of the game. Now on this job over here that we were running, it's a job running right now, simple little ring, having problems getting chip marks on the OD when we would clamp. We thought there was a machining operation on the sub side, and it turned out it wasn't. What was happening, we were drilling on the main, turning, boring, getting ready to cut off, and we realized that chips were staying in the bore from the main side operation that were traveling over to the sub, getting in the sub, and then a few parts later, I'm about to show you right now, and then a few parts later we would get chip marks on the OD of our part. So what did we do? I'll show you exactly what we did, and then we'll talk about it. Now it's kind of hard to see through the glass, but That's our part, that's our drill. Everything has already been machined. So watch what I do with the drill. I go back in with the drill, low RPM, and I actually flush out the part. So what we did is after we drilled, turned, bored, there was little fine chips that were staying in the bore that for whatever reason, it was just every now and again one of them. We want 100% of part conformance. That means we want 100% of parts to come out without chip marks. So I went back in with the drill, turned on the coolant, ran my RPM real low, went back in and drilled it out, but I was just using it as a flush. That was flushing out the coolant, and it worked. Since then, we've ran thousands of pieces with no chip marks. Success. There's a couple other methods I want to touch on that I can't show now because I don't have them running, but follow along with your imagination. Imagine you have a part that you're doing a bore, say 6061 aluminum. It's a deep bore on the sub side. We're boring through. And that boring through is pushing the chips into the sub, and we dump that one out. Next part it comes and grabs it, but there's a chip in there. What do? Two ways that I've avoided that. One of them, I machine from the inside out, and I've actually been able to draw the chip out of the part versus pushing it in. Second thing I've been able to do is shut off the coolant on your tool and just have the coolant on your M108. Coolant through your turret that's blasted right at your cutting edge. Sometimes that pressure exceeds the pressure of the through spindle, so that as you're cutting and you're pushing the coolant into the hole, all the chips are flooding back into the spindle. So I've done it before where I shut the coolant on the turret and I simply push the chips out with my M108 or my through spindle coolant. Those methods have worked for me also. One last method I want to go over, and this is a little bit unorthodox for sure. It adds cycle time. Some people would say it's not good for the tool, at least I've been told, but I don't see it at all. I think it's fine because it's technically not touching. Imagine you're turning a shaft like this. You got to turn, but your sub spindle's coming to grab. But there's a little ring that always stays on here that you just can't get rid of no matter your speeds, feeds, direction of the coolant. What do? I've done it before where I take a little grooving tool and I come down here and just scrape it off. I made a short on it. I'll show you right now. And this method 100% of the time works. Now what's not 100% of the time is if you're trying to, you get that little bit of a ring or a little bit of a bird's nest. So sometimes what I've had to do is take a hook or a tool, and I'm not touching the material, I'm going a couple thou above and just scrape it off. Adds a couple seconds, but you're 100% certain you're not gonna get chip marks. Now, if you run sub-spindle machinery, have you ever had any problems with chip marks? Because it's not always a battle on every one, but we do a lot of boring and internal work on the sub-spindle. We get chips. Drop a comment if you have the same headache or if you've never had a problem. I'd love to know your perspective. Chips in the sub-spindle are one of those things that just can cause enormous problems. The biggest being scrap parts. We want 100% conformity, 0% scrap. It can cause enormous frustration because it's so hard to pinpoint where the chip's coming from, the main, the sub. What tool is causing it? How do I avoid it? I'm going to change my speeds, my feeds, my coolant, my through spindle, my pads, everything. But you get that little chip mark that makes you just say, come on, cut me a break and let's make a good part. As you can see, these are a few ways that we have successfully used to minimize or avoid chips in the sub spindle, ruining our parts or ruining our work holding. And if this helped you, hit subscribe. If there's someone you think it could help, share it with them, drop a comment, consider giving me a thumbs up. Thank you for watching. Luke with Crusader Machining here. I got to get back to work.